Nebraska is not too happy right now with what's going on in politics. And they're overwhelmingly supported President Trump. But a lot of them now are saying they made a mistake, that a lot of their farms and ranches are looking to not be able to survive because they've lost a lot of their workers, which happen to be a lot of illegal immigrants. Some are getting on Facebook and other media sites and saying that within so many months, they're going to be bankrupt. There's one person that said 300-year-old family ranch is going to go under. 300 years old, that means 1725, there was a private ranch, family ranch out in Nebraska. I wonder what the Native Americans thought about that. Yeah, that doesn't make no sense. But a lot of them are saying, we didn't realize that it was going to do this to our state and our economy. Y'all are playing out there. You know exactly what you were doing. And then you bit yourself in the toe. And it's not good. But I'm wishing y'all the best of luck. I hope your state don't go bankrupt. Maybe all the money that President is taking from Illinois, not paying us, maybe he can give it to y'all since you voted for him. I don't know. Just a quick idea. Call up Doge. Or why don't y'all get out there and do the work yourself? Get up there and get to those fields. Curious. All right. Or maybe pay $5 million and you can get some of them immigrants back on that farm. Right?
Hello, my beautiful people. I hope you're doing well. So, in today's topic, we are talking about Nebraska's cattle ranchers. They are in full-blown panic mode, and the internet is having a field day about it. Now, with mass deportation wiping out their workforce, ranchers are watching their businesses crumble. Some warning they won't last another 6 months. But instead of sympathy, people are saying, you voted for this, now deal with it. The backlash is intense, and the conversation is getting heated. So let's take a look at what people are saying and how this situation is unfolding. Then I'll be back.
So all the maggots that are living in the beautiful state of Nebraska are now crying profusely because the state is now literally mere months away from filing for bankruptcy, simply because their divider-in-chief that they almost unanimously voted for and endorsed profusely has signed an executive order cutting off federal funding and literally allowing the entire state as a whole to completely go bankrupt. Now, here's the thing, you guys. I literally watched this TikTok video of a woman almost screaming in tears, asking and shouting to the world, does anybody care about Nebraska?
I have a question for the rest of America. Does anyone even care about Nebraska? Does anyone even care?
Now, here's the thing. I'm pretty confident that when this woman walked into the voting booth with her Uggs, hoodie, leggings, and stroller with her little suburban life, probably with Starbucks in hand, that she wasn't thinking about my gay rights and my gay marriage that I'm probably planning to do for this year. And she probably wasn't thinking about trans rights, and she probably wasn't thinking about any of the other things that are planned to be taken off in this Project 2025 bullshit that divider-in-chief actually said that he wasn't actually going to do in this administration, but has actually done most of and is planning on doing for the rest and of the duration of this administration, because he's a liar. With that being said, I'm pretty confident that when you sit there and you make a TikTok video crying profusely, wanting to beg for anyone else out there's sympathy for the fact that your entire state as a whole is about to file for bankruptcy because of a decision that you made ignorantly.
So for all the farmers that live in Nebraska, you voted for Trump knowing that 70% of your workforce on your farms are migrants. Now, apparently, Nebraska is 6 months away from bankruptcy. Still voted for the mass deportation of 70% of your workforce on your farms, and now are complaining that your farms and your livelihood will not survive it.
I have a question for the rest of America. Does anyone even care about Nebraska? Does anyone even care?
Do you care about Nebraska? Because I have a feeling you voted for this. I mean, Nebraskans don't even care about Nebraska. Let me ask you another question. Who exactly did you think were going to work in the fields and in the farms after all of the regular day laborers, people of color, are no longer there anymore? Who did you think was going to do it? Did you think that there was just this army of white workers ready to get into those farms and pick all the vegetables? Now people like you who voted for this to happen are upset that something's affecting you, because what people like you tend to really vote for, it's not the economy. It's because you want to express racism and bigotry, and he was the only way that you could do that. But now it's affecting you. All those farms are disappearing, including that 300-year-old farm. And you want to know why nobody's upset at that? It's because you guys did it to yourself. You'd rather vote to have your racism easily spread across the United States instead of thinking about yourself, because you always vote against your own interest, don't you? And isn't it just like you? You voted to hurt other people, but now when it's starting to hurt you, you want us to feel sympathetic for you.
Hey girl, as a Texan from a cattle ranching family now living in Florida, we cared about y'all so much. That's why we told y'all for so long. Gosh, I've been screaming it for, I don't know, since at least, the Tea Party. 08, 09? We broke it down, Project 2025, over and over. Y'all didn't listen. So now my only responses is first, bless your fucking heart. Second of all, this is what you voted for, so.
As someone who was born and raised in Nebraska and who works in public policy, nonprofit sector in Nebraska, I can provide a little bit of context as to what's going on with the state, with the budget, why everybody's freaking out. So in our state constitution, there's a provision that says you cannot go into a deficit. You have to have a balanced budget. That has never really been a problem. We've always had a budget surplus. Even 3 to 4 years ago, we had a budget surplus of like $1 billion. And now, under Pillen, we have completely blown through all that extra money, and there's a $432 million deficit of the budget. The other issue that's happening in Nebraska right now, well, there's two really, is we've essentially run the migrant workforce out of the state. It's a red state. We've had ICE raids in Nebraska before at meat packing plants, farms, etc. It's nothing really new to the state. But the other factor that's going into that with the lost revenue is that property taxes are outrageous. Nebraska is one of the highest tax states in the country. I just recently left and went to a blue state. I thought for sure taxes were going to be worse. I'm actually taking home more money now than I was in Nebraska. So that's another thing. People have promised tax relief. We've robbed Peter to pay Paul, and now it's time to pay the bill, and there's no money left.
As you know, Nebraska is one of the top beef producing states in the country, generating billions every year. But now, cattle ranchers are watching their industry collapse in real time. And the reason, the mass deportations they voted for have wiped out their workforce. And the people who kept these ranches running are gone. And ranchers are finally realizing they can't do it without them. But here's the thing, when people are asked if they care about Nebraska's situation, the overwhelming response is no, or at the best, a shrug, because this wasn't some unpredictable disaster that came out of nowhere. This was a choice because for 2 years, Trump made it clear what his immigration policies would look like. And people warned that cracking down on migrant labor would devastate industries that rely on it. But did these ranchers listen? No, they celebrated it. They even voted for it, and now they are watching their own livelihood slip away. And that is why social media is full of people saying, you wanted this, now deal with it. And the truth is, some people do feel bad, not for the ranchers, but for the innocent workers who are caught in the middle of this mess. Because while these businesses collapse, the families that were uprooted, deported, and torn apart, they're the real victims here. So that is what I had to say about all this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more trending stories. And also, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. I'll see you in the next one, and thank you for watching. Bye.